reasons that I was really excited to fly in from Dallas to talk to you guys is because I have a 23-year-old daughter myself. And she's one of the reasons I wrote my book, and I dedicated it to her. And the book is Ties to Tattoos. And it's not about tattoos. Sorry to disappoint you. We do have a few chapters about tattoos in there, but it's not all about tattoos. So this is millennials. And what I like to call you guys babies, millennials or Gen Y, but I chose millennials just because I liked it. And so I stick with that. So it's the same thing. But when I wrote the book, I decided that we're going to call millennials the trophy babies, because a lot of you guys were born getting trophies just for showing up. I mean, you show up to school, do you get an attendance award if you don't miss a day? How many? Yes, I need a little louder than that. Yes, right. I don't remember getting any attendance award for going to school. Maybe I didn't always show up, but that could have been the problem. But also, you're so overbooked. You have soccer practice, cheerleading practice, you've got maybe in the band, maybe you're doing something else, but your parents and you're so scheduled, that's one of the reasons you're so wonderful at multitasking. You can handle multi-projects all at once, which is why you're sitting in these seats. You're very ambitious. You are very good at what you do, and you've got technology down to a science. We have 5-year-olds right now who are doing PowerPoints in school, which is amazing because something like this takes me a lot of time, but I also need 2 or 3 people to help me out with it. Whereas I'm sure one of you in the audience could have prepared it for me rather quickly. Yeah, see, you could. He's probably looking at it, critiquing me, going, I'm going to send her a message later. Yeah, he's probably got some pointers for me. So you've read it all before. I want to read you a few of these quotes because they're kind of important. Millennials, the worst generation in the workforce. They are the lost generation and a new generation of slacker professionals. So let's try to find a way to change their mentality. As I work with my clients, I try to let them understand that just because you're different than how I work doesn't mean that these things are true. Agreed? Agreed, exactly. I would like to hear somebody clapping for that one because that's what you need to be getting them to understand. Right. So let's talk about how you can change their perception, because that's how you get jobs and you get given more authority and more advancement as you get out into the work world.
Stand back, all bosses. A new breed of American worker is about to attack everything you hold sacred, from giving orders to your starched white shirt and tie. They're called, among other things, millennials. There are about 80 million of them born between 1980 and 1995, and they're rapidly taking over from the baby boomers who are now pushing 60. They were raised by doting parents who told them they were special, played in little leagues with no winners or losers or all winners. They're laden with trophies just for participating, and they think your business-as-usual ethic is for the birds. And if you persist in the belief, you can take your job and shove it. Corporate America is so unnerved by all this that companies like Merrill Lynch, Ernst & Young, and Disney and scores of others are hiring consultants to teach them how to deal with this generation that only takes yes for an answer. The workplace has become a psychological battlefield, and the millennials have the upper hand.
What do you think about that? They say you have the upper hand. Yeah. One of the reasons you have the upper hand is because you are the generation of leaders. And they're hiring consultants. We're writing books about it because we're trying to figure you out. You need to figure us out a little bit because guess what? We're the ones who give you your promotion and your raises. So I think that's kind of important. But we need, as corporate leaders, to understand how to make millennials successful, because right now, for instance, the average engineer is age 55. So they're going to be retiring in less than 10 years. Who's going to come in and take their jobs? Don't you want to be the one coming in and being that next engineer or whatever it happens to be? Because they're going to have a huge gap over the next 10 years. And you guys are the ones going into college, and you can take those jobs and soar with them. And so that's one of the reasons they're out there trying to find ways to communicate with you, attract you, and motivate you to stay with their organizations. Currently, the statistics are a millennial will leave their job 10.2 times before the age of 38. Can you imagine what that does to a company? It is striking fear for them because the cost of turnover is so much. But it also is hard for you because it looks like you're job jumping on your resume. You got to figure out how long you want to stay with a company and learn to expand your skills from all different ways, not just up, but crossways. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that.
Guys, we need to talk. I know we're back at school now, but you're going a little overboard with the new phones.
Yeah.
Mom, just because we're Facebook friends does not mean you can write I love you all over my wall.
You know, other people can see that.
Dad, cool it with the Twitter updates, okay?
I'm sitting on the patio.
I know you're sitting on the patio.
Now at the back-to-school sale.
It's kind of funny, but true. We are still trying to figure it out. We may not be as technology savvy as you guys are. I'll tell you a quick story. My daughter, who's now 23, she's in Canada. She sent me an email joke, and she's part of an HR team, and it was a little bit inappropriate, but I thought, you know, I'll call and counsel her on that later, gently. But what I did is it was on my BlackBerry, and I responded, but I responded to all, and she had sent it out to her whole company, and I said, I love you, baby girl. Mama can't wait to see you soon. So everybody in her company got that message, and she said, Mom, don't you know you did reply to all? And so that's exactly what happens when we aren't nearly as technology savvy. Okay, I have a man back here who's not learning the technology. So, you know, the man behind the curtain's not doing a good job. So, okay, so here's a millennial myth game. Sure, I can get that done when someone asks you to do copies. Is there someone else who can handle it, or that's not part of my job description? A, that's right. I've heard before, you want me to do what? Didn't you hire me because of my dazzling personality and my smile? I now have a degree. I'm wonderful. I've made it out of college. I've got the skills. When do I get to be the CEO? So that is one of the biggest parts. It's all part of your job description because it'll set you apart and make you successful. If someone else doesn't want to do it, you do it because now you know that you can pitch in for someone else. And when companies have to start looking at organizations, you will have the opportunity to stay. Which of the following is okay at work? Visible tattoos, facial piercings, or torn jeans and flip-flops? None. Way to go. Who knows who this girl is? Yeah, she fell asleep and had 52 stars tattooed on her face and woke up and had to call her mommy to get it fixed because she was under 18. So it's really not a good idea to show up to work with tattoos, so we don't want to be this girl.
This message, wherever you stand, call it water, call it man, we're the generation, can't afford.
You guys are the generation. You can focus on your success. Do what you want to do that makes you happy. Don't worry about title, salary, or what other people think. Congratulations, and there's some final tips that are in the presentation. Have a can-do attitude and stay positive. Thank you.